Hello, hello, hello. Got another day. More to do. And hello. So the plan for today, I believe, if I'm reading my title properly, I'm going to install Proxmox for fun. Oops, for fun and profit. What are we going to start with? I'm going to do it in my virtual lab, obviously. Don't know that I'd want to put Proxmox on K8s, as fun as that would be. Let me close this real quick. I forgot to pop out my chat so that I can keep an eye on you guys. All right. So step one, we're going to power on opnsense because it acts as the gateway in my virtual lab. Although I haven't verified whether or not DHCP forwarding is working on it yet. If not, I'll just set up a new one. Or I'll just configure it to be using, or to be generating DHCP. Or I can start up Kia. Kia will do it too. And go. Sweet. All right, now start up our Kali box because why not? Want to have something inside the environment, right? Of course, I don't know when the last time I updated this was, but yeah, whatever. Oh, well, maybe I'm not starting my Kali box. Unable to mount root file system. All right, let's just cancel that. I don't feel like troubleshooting a Kali VM at the moment, and there's nothing on there that I care about. All right, so then instead, we'll just get right into it. We're gonna make a new one. I've already downloaded all the, well, yeah, I was pretty sure I downloaded all the ISOs. Let's create a new folder and drag all three of those. I don't know that I'm going to install the full trifecta just yet, but I'm also not saying that I won't. I mean, 3 hours, 3 ISOs. Could be a whole week-long thing. Although actually I was looking at my analytics on YouTube. Most people find my YouTube archive of these streams using Homelab security, which is interesting to find out. So maybe I need to revisit my Waza install and actually go through the remediation steps and kind of lay out like, okay, here's how you would secure your Homelab, because it seems like there's people that are interested in that. And right now my security is basically, it's behind 2 firewalls. deal with it. And that's not awesome. It's a thing, but it's not awesome. All right, so we're going to start with the Proxmox virtualization. How much memory do they suggest? Let's take a look. Reject all. I reject your cookies and substitute my own. All right, 2 gig for every OS and Proxmox VE. So, oh no, 2 gig for OS and Proxmox plus memory for guests. Approximately 1 gig for every. So I'm not going to use a terabyte, so there's that. Redundant NICs, we can do that. Why not? There we go, for testing only. 1 gig of RAM, hard drive. Just hard drive. We might have that. All right, so it's saying 2 plus. We're probably going to try and throw a couple VMs on there. So let's say 2048. We need 4096. We'll do 4. Why not? I'm not going to do Oracle. I don't think it would be considered Oracle. We'll just do generic Linux. Probably the way to go. We'll create a new one. This part's all bad because I'm running out of space. Hey, where's my other one? This one. I still have 137. I've done some cleaning. So let's scale you up to what, 40? All right, let's look at the additional settings. We want to give it more than one CPU, I'm sure. Boom, boom, boom. Processor. Just give it 2 for the sake of argument. So do I have to do this to get this? Or I don't have oh no. That could be a problem. Oh, I bet I have to run this as sudo to get that. Let's see. I'm just going to exit this for now. I'm going to bring you back. And we want so if I do a new one here, I'm just going to go. It looks like I've done this before. Linux 64. Right, I did just say. Oh, I need professional help. 4096, and not just for talking to myself. Create VDI dynamic. Let's call you 40 again. All right, so now in my settings. Nope. Okay, well, whatever, it's fine. Sure, it'll be fine. I've run Docker on VirtualBox, so why not, right? Sure, it'll be fine. Ooh, I still have the ant farm running. I forgot. What the hell? Oh, I was like, it changed sides. It kind of did change sides. It was over here. Did it just take all of the... No, it's still there. Maybe it's not... It hasn't fully taken these over yet. Because it was originally just, oh, it's moved this way as well. So it's taken this and this. This guy's a bad mamma jamma. It's only taken him a full week. Holy cow. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Are unsuspecting and less capable bots even aware of what's happening? Yeah, they're not doing anything. I think they're like, they got to be limited in the number of screeps they can handle at a time. Oh well. Just a fun little peek into the ant farm. Alright, where were we? Settings. We'll try and get this guy running with 2 CPUs. Try to make use of nested paging. Okay. So it's going to try to do it anyway. I don't really care about that. All good there. Oh, we have to set the storage here. I want to add... that guy. All right. Oh, we also need to set its network. So 1 is attached to host only, and 2, I mean, it does say it recommends 2. Okay. All right, and let me just validate that this guy's set up properly still. Should have done that before I started it, right? All right, looks good. Let's go. Cook this pig. Installing. Gonna mute you and get a drink of water. Well, I guess there's our answer. Less than 1 gig of usable memory. What? No support for hardware accelerated. Check BIOS. Okay. What do you mean less than 1 gig? You've got 4 gig. All right, well, let's run through it, see what happens, huh? United States. Time zone, America. Los Angeles. Password. Let's use my favorite thing in the world. 25. How about this one? And we'll throw it in the notes. See it? In case you need it later. Never gonna hack my Gibson with it. Oh, I can't paste here. That's right, because they're not. Ooh, that's fun. Keyboard. There we go. I need host to guest. Okay. Bidirectional. Let's see. Nope. That's because it doesn't have the guest additions installed yet. Okay, we'll just do EWAI 5 ISH. And we'll make it extra secure. Bang. EWAI 5 ISH. Bang. We can keep the default mail at not invalid. I love it. I don't know if that's right. Let's look at you. No. You should be 5, 6. All right, so we're gonna make you dot 5, 6 dot 3, right? Oops. Yeah, because you're 2. Well, let's make you 203. 203. Gateway is going to be 56.2. DNS is 10.1.24.2 and 10.1.24.20. Are you going to need a comma, you think? Oh, and I do actually have a, I think it's vert. Now I have to verify that. Geez, I haven't done anything in here in a while. There we go. Close. Although, you know, that warning gives you a little bit too much information. It lets you know that that password is out there somewhere. All right, I'm looking for servers, DNS. Dev in, yeah, it's vert. Next, DNS IP is not valid. Okay. Probably needs a comma. It will only take one. Just one. There we go. Automatically reboot. Run it. Now, how long is this going to take? %. Hey, that means it's, if it's 50% and that took like 30 seconds, it's obviously only going to take a minute, right? Sure, that's true. That's exactly what's going to happen. Water. But yeah, I'm 99% certain that I'm going to go through. I'm probably going to actually rebuild the cluster one node at a time, just making sure that it's following all of the proper security stuff that's being recommended by WASA. And it's like normally I don't partition off each of my the directories like the Linux install recommends, because I just don't care that much. But it does make sense. You want to be able to mount like your temp directory with no execute and so on and so forth. Like there's very valid reasons to do it. I just don't. The biggest reason I don't is because of the number of times that I had like I would have my main directory get filled up by packages. And then it's like, okay, I've got to go in and manually reduce this one, increase that one. And it's kind of a pain in the butt to plan for and do the additional work on. But I get why it's more secure. I mean, anything that's a pain in the butt is always more secure, right? Like, it's just the fact that it requires more work. Security through laziness, I guess. %. Let's add this into the notes. At some point, I'm also going to have to go back through and wonder if I should include software mentioned. I don't know. I've got webmin, virtualbox, and Proxmox. Oh, and opnsense, I guess. But at some point I've got to go back and just edit these, take out all of this stuff where I'm just blabbing at the camera, and try and make some of these videos like concise. Hey, here's how you do this thing. Because honestly, trying to find videos of people doing some of this stuff on K8s is not super easy. Not a lot of them. And if I had that problem, I can't be the only one having that problem, right? Didn't I check the box to automatically reboot? Oh, there we go. Ask and you shall receive. Oh, I'm still going to need something with a GUI in this environment to reach this. And oh no, I think I can use, since I use the host only. Wait a minute. Is it this one? There we go. No, is it this one? Why are you taking over my mouse? All right, we want you. We have to eject. You. Remove. No. Okay, so why are you still asking me to install? Reboot you? Oh. Remove disk from virtual drive. Reload. There we go. And reboot you again. There we go. I also think the last time I did I bothered to segregate out all of the different directories. I was using LVM, and that was a thing. All right, let me put you over here real quick. .168.56.203. Sweet. Proceed. Did we set it? I'm guessing it's just admin and then our silly Ewafish. Ewafish. Okay, it's not admin. Download, boot, configure. No. Let's do default login. And the password. Log in using the root. I didn't set a username. I just set the password. I guess it's probably just root then, huh? Bum, 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 bum. You do not have a valid subscription for this server. I'm aware. Standard, basic, community. Oh. Did I download the wrong one? I would have thought community was free. Did I order the... yeah, I must have downloaded the wrong one. Ordered the wrong one. Do I have to go here? Well, I mean, I'm testing, so I'm not super worried about it, but is there a community edition? So no subscription. I'm not going to watch a video. I like that it's PvE, player versus enemy. That makes me laugh. Hey, Tomato, how's it going? Oh, wow, this reminds me of something. I've seen this interface, and it wasn't Proxmox before. Can't complain too loudly. Just got started poking through Proxmox on VirtualBox. Proxmox on VirtualBox. I like it. So right now I only have root. Interesting. Use a physical, do not use any media. So I'll have to cancel you. Got storage. Oh, this will handle Acme as well. Interesting. It's so weird how complex or how confusing this looks to me just because of what I'm used to. Like, I know it's not just, you know, poking at it, but interesting. It only recognizes 2 or 1 gig. I mean, I definitely. Oh, nope, I didn't. All right. Let's turn you off real quick. Settings. There's got to be a way in here, right? Yeah. Who needs it? Power off. Goodbye. All right, let's change that. I swear I set that. I did not set that up for failure. All right. It'd be kind of funny to set up a Proxmox and VirtualBox and have its first virtual machine to be a Proxmox machine and just keep going down the line. Oh, right. It's not going to load anything for me. And it's booted. Try again. Two CPUs. All right, now we got the proper 4 of 18. All right, everything looks fine there. You only have 1. Why not both? Yeah. Pending changes. Either reboot or use apply configuration. Where do I see apply configuration? There we go. You'd think it would highlight that. I don't know, just me. Where? I mean, I guess that doesn't matter. Oh, wait, there we go. No. Why don't you have bond mode in here? If it shows it. Okay. We've got our certificates. network stuff. Okay, it doesn't let me set my NTP. The enterprise repository is enabled, but there is no active subscription. Okay, so I guess I just use the all right, there's got to be some reason for this. Where is the community edition? Proxmox CE download? Did I just get the wrong one? The community edition is identical except for the nag screen and earlier updates. Well, 3 days ago. So this is a question just because of that pop-up. What is the cost associated with the community edition? Can I install without buying a subscription? You can install without any subscription of any kind, which is identical to community except for the nag screen, and it gets updates earlier. Okay, so it's, the nag screen is just for support. Okay. So annoying, but who cares? Hey, now it has shut down there. All right. Got my discs. I don't think I'm going to dig into Ceph. We'll see. Need at least 2 nodes. Okay, well, let's try that. Step number 2. We're going to do -v2. Linux 64. Same thing. 4096. See, I did this at the beginning. I don't understand. Create. We'll set you at 40 again. Dynamic. We'll do the same deal. Now, this is getting into interesting territory because of where we're at right now. So fun. We'll see what we break. Same deal, 2 CPUs. Display don't care, storage. We're going to put you in there. Network, host only. We're going to say host only. None of the rest of this matters. And, hey, wait a minute. No, we're not using you. You don't matter right now. All right, start. Just hit 12 gigs of RAM. Installing. You're 203, so I want 204 now. A little bit of silence for some water. Water over. So you working on anything interesting today, Tomato? Or just looking just like my music in the background? I agree. Yeah, whatever. We're going to use the same one because reasons. Not something I would ever recommend, but it's dev, so who cares, right? EWAI SH bang. EY 5-ish bang. And this makes me laugh. It won't take it, but it's just validating whether or not you changed it. Next. pxmx2 dot. You are going to be 56.204. 56.2 and 10.1.24.2. Will it take both? Oh yeah, I already checked that. It's always good to set like a hard time limit. I will honestly, I'll study until the end of time if I don't say, bam, this is when it has to happen. It's actually kind of nice when you go to schedule them too, that generally speaking, they're, you know, they're pre-scheduled like a month or two out. So you can kind of go, okay, I can deal with that. I can get there. I can do it. The hard ones are, I've got enough CompTIA certs to where now they reach out to me with dev certs, or like when they're trying to do a new version of a cert and they say, hey, for $50 you can sit for the test, but you have to do it before X date. And I'm like, oh, that's a month away, or oh, that's 2 weeks away. So you got to kind of, it's $50 and you get the newest cert, but do you want to cram for those 2 weeks or whatever? Although when it's one that you've already got, it sure, no problem, let's do this. But when it's one that they're just now coming out with for the first time, that's entertaining. Because strangely enough, in their multiple choice, they don't have options like thingy or that file, you know, that file. Yeah, I grabbed the A+ first. Just, well, I mean, like we were talking about yesterday, I think I may have been talking to somebody else. I swear I need notes. But what I normally do is at a work level, I spend so much time just doing it. I'm not worried about proving I can do it. I just want to get it done. And I spent the last 20 years doing that. And then realized, wait, I need some proof here. So the last year or so, I went backwards and just started filling in holes. I think the only certification I got while I was actually employed was the CISSP, and that was a cool cert. The training for it that I went through was cool. It was eye opening. It showed me a lot of interesting things. Yeah, around I think 20. Well, professionally, about 21, 22. Not professionally. Well, you're looking at it. I mean, I've kind of been. I got my first computer when I was, I think, 12, and immediately broke the video card in it by screwing around with files I shouldn't have been screwing around with in DOS. Spent the first month of me having a new computer fixing it and realized I really enjoy the process. And I broke it because I was trying to get the first Doom shareware disk working. Doom Episode 1 is the reason that I enjoy, or that I realize that I enjoy breaking and fixing things. So thanks, John Carmack. It's a lot of doing stuff. I mean, the thing about tech, like, any experience that's more than 15 years old is probably only about 10% applicable, or more than maybe 10 years old. I mean, you're looking at the majority of that stuff is not used today, or you find something that you know a piece of it because you worked on it back when it was new, and it's got so many features and cruft added to it that now it's like, That's one of the things I always say about it. That job, well, just in general, the job of working in technology is a 5-year stint of teaching yourself everything that is currently valid, and then exercising on that for another 5 years while you're learning what's going to be available in the next 5 years. Stagnation is not allowed. This one's obviously going quite a bit slower than the first one. I think we can drop this down here so we don't copy it into the notes later. I wonder if I should have given it its own password. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely. I had a friend who went hard into VR AR. Apple decided to jump on the bandwagon, and everybody thought like that was definitely going to be it. And outside of games, and even games, it's hard to justify the extra development and the extra hardware cost for VR. And what, 30% of the world's population, it just makes them violently ill. Like, that's not great. I do still think, like, one of the greatest things is VR with drones and doing things like remote tours with robots and things like that. That's awesome. And, doing remote surgery, that stuff is always going to make sense. Any way to get a person to be able to physically interact somewhere else and make that experience more effective, that's its place. And it's games and really specialized experiences or people. But yeah, as an example. And then, I mean, you get into just different types of memory that have come and gone, the number of times that the video card has been like, okay, we're going to do multiple video cards and we're going to have special connectors to connect them all together so that they can be ganged together. And then, no, we're just going to use PCIe. We're going to use PCI Express. We're going to use whatever. We're just going to go back to the motherboard manufacturers and make it a standard. And never mind the number of times that quantum computing has become the biggest thing and died in the last 5 years. That one is definitely going to be big, but when to hop on that hype train, that's another part of it. When do you hop on the hype train? Even though you know it's coming, when does it make sense? Like if you're an esoteric researcher that's getting money from Columbia University, then okay, you hop on it whatever the heck you feel like, but most of us aren't that. Not found. Yeah, basically. It's investing. Which is why, like, most of the developers that are any good at AI now are writing investment bots for AI. All right, so okay, that's kind of cool. It's at least more transparent about how networking works. Oh yeah, I use the heck out of AI. I mean, anytime that I'm developing something, because as I've said, I'm such a crap developer. I just write out a whole bunch of here, let me show you. Let me do, nope, that's not what I wanted. I want well, this should work. Select a language or fill in the template. No. Where's just new project? We'll just do new window. New text file. We're going to say, let's do Python. Why not? To do. And then refactor. Oh, does it not have Python? Dang it, it doesn't have Python. Oh no, there it is. Implement. There we go. We'll accept that. And then I'll build off of that. So like it's really just a matter of like finding the right way to write that little piece that I want to do that, and then start looking at, okay, well, what did it screw up? What did it do wrong? And then jam that into my code. Like, say, I like make this work. So to do, make this code its own function. Bink, refactor, implement to do. There we go. Bink. Yeah, Codium's really cool for just being able to do the stupid stuff pretty quick. Like you can just line up a bunch of to-dos and then dump them into whatever you're actually working on and then connect it and do the additional stuff. There we go. For some reason, since I installed the vertical plugin, closing windows sometimes will just crash OBS, you know, for fun. So Proxmox seems to mostly look at, like, this reminds me of vSphere, I think. Like the old vSphere. Is that what I'm thinking of? This really reminds me of another server that I've used. All right, but let's try, while we're waiting for the other one to run, we want localnet. Okay, I don't have any zones apparently. Let's just start. Let's create a VLAN. So do I need to remember an existing bridge? Or am I creating a new one? Cluster options, right? No. Wait, where did settings go? Wasn't I just looking at settings? Not my settings. So I've got the summary. I want to go to oops. Where did I just merge my stupid networks together? Let's see. Oh, there it is. So I could upload from, let's throw an old Debian on there. Okay, doesn't like that. I've got to have another ISO somewhere that isn't Proxmox. That's it? Them's my choices? It's interesting that it won't allow me to upload from a remote folder. Wonder why that is. So let's just do this then. Debian. Yet. Are you done yet? Okay. Goodbye. Yes. I wonder if I could have just cloned the file rather than going through the full reinstall. So, wow, this is seeming like the first time I streamed. All right. So what I'm looking for now, before I got so rudely interrupted, OBS, looking at you. Oh yeah. It threw my away from them. Okay. Debian LXC and Proxmox. So is the idea of this that you're running a VM that runs Docker? Oh, okay. So they want you to put Portainer in there. Install Proxmox. All right. No, we're installing Docker directly in there, and then we're using Docker to install Portainer. Okay. But that does create two separate panes of glass. Yeah, OBS, well, OBS is weird on Linux just because there's two ways to install it. The install from source or compile from source is allegedly the most extensible. So it's much easier to get plugins and all of the additional features running. But the only one that's supported by OBS is the Flatpak version. And they just say, do that. It takes care of everything, except it only takes care of the things that they specifically support. And it doesn't really support adding plugins. It does. There's a way to do it. It's a little hacky, but so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm running the Flatpak version because when I was running the installed or the compiled from source version, they apparently haven't written instructions that handle the Wayland window manager. It's supposed to just run on X. And since I'm using Ubuntu, I'm using Wayland, and you get weird errors, which are actually the exact same type of weird errors I'm getting now on the Flatpak version, which is fun. Interesting. So I don't know that I want to do virtualization in virtualization. So containers, I mean, apparently plenty of people are doing it. Oh, this is 4 years old. And they don't have a solution to just have Docker in here. Well, let's look at here dot 3, here dot 4. Okay. So let me go back to here. And we were going back to high availability, right? No, we're going back to cluster. Cluster network. Oh, I don't have another one. Okay. Task. Okay. All right. As long as the task is okay. So now I just need another one. Boom, boom, boom. But you're going to be 204. Root. Rooty toot toot. And add our extra secure bang. Yep, I know. Now, cluster, we want to join a cluster. Paste encoded cluster information here. Oh, I guess I can just do that. And now to paste this other junk back in. No cluster network links passed. Fallback. Okay. Sweet. Now I got 2. Now, what was I looking for? What started me down this road of creating a... Oh, it was replication. CT ID 10. No, not 10. Probably don't have a VM. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Instead of a VM. Oh, there we go. So it does, okay, so it does containerization still. I'm just silly. So it is 5. Next, storage. I don't have any templates. Okay. Two, 3, 4, 5. Next. So if I don't have, yeah, no. So do I create a template in here? Or is it on each? There we go. Mail gateway. Let's just do Ubuntu. I feel like most of this information could be like right here. I guess rather than just poking around in this, I should have been like, okay, I'm going to try and install X on Proxmox. Maybe I try... What's something lightweight? I'll try Getia after this. See if there's actually a template for Getia. I bet there is. So I can probably just close this, let it run. Let's see, is there... There's nothing for Git. Okay. So these are just top level. All right. Well, let's copy the one that I just moved over. Then, boom, upload. I now get what... So when I was talking to someone quite a while ago about migrating the area that I had built at my job for innovation. It was an innovation lab. I was trying to migrate it. I was trying to get approval to migrate it into Amazon just because the amount of time that I spent updating my servers was just dumb for what was actually going on, where a developer would get a VM or they would get not even a VM, they would get a section of CPU and memory and storage, and then they were just kind of go do what you want to do, get it done. And it would last for about a week, and then I'd clean up and delete everything on there, and then it was a big mess. So I was trying to get everything moved into the cloud. And the person I was talking to was saying, well, most people just think the cloud is moving VMs into a larger network space. And I'm like, well, it kind of is. This is making me realize like what exactly he meant by that, because this is very much, or it seems to be very much, a virtualization platform. Like it is about creating a full OS, installing your application on it. And what I've been doing in Kubernetes is way like some of my build containers on Jenkins. You know, the pod has 7 containers in it because it's got to do a Maven install, which it just downloads Maven, runs that, and then it just downloads Node.js and it does that install, and then it just has another container that only does Docker, and it downloads that and runs it. And then if I want to change that, I just change the name of the pod that it's pointing to, and it only grabs the things that it needs. It only runs those. It's it's making a lot more sense to me what they were trying to say to me, and what I was seeing as incorrect about their statement was vastly incorrect on my part. Looking at this and kind of going back to, because this is a bit more like server-side VirtualBox than, or server-side. Well, I mean, it really reminds me of vSphere, like a lot. I'm sure the containers portion with the templates, I mean, I've got those downloading, so, but each one of those just seems to be a base level OS. Can I close this and will it run in the background? One way to find out. Okay, so now I've got Ubuntu. Let's create one. Trest, yeah, that works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, whatever. Yep, we're gonna put you a local. We're gonna use that template. It can be. I mean, the thing about, and that was kind of this guy's stance was a little bit, well, honestly, his job was at that point in time to be a gatekeeper. He was supposed to prevent people from working outside of the enterprise to use cloud services, because a number of groups had. So, you know, it is what it is. That's, I'm not going to be mad at him for doing his job. But it can be expensive. But I was talking to him about setting up a budget of, $100,000 a month, and my manager was pushing me to spend $3 or $4 million on new hardware to upgrade the lab, and I'm like, I feel like this is going to be cheaper. No, I always look at cost first. I've kind of always done that. I mean, I didn't for the longest time in my own home lab. I just ran whatever I ran and then started looking at power bills and going, oh crap, that's stupid. But when it came to the company's money, I wanted to cut those margins to the bare bones. I mean, my entire stack of servers were inherited. Like, I didn't buy my first set of servers in that lab environment. There was no reason to. They were perfectly good servers that, while they didn't meet the corporate guidelines, they met all of the things that I needed. And that's what the original environment was built off of. So, I was coming in at $50,000-$60,000 a year, not, of course, including my team and that sort of stuff. But our upfront costs were ridiculous, and that was a reason that we got pushed. People got sent to me to do this work because it was cheap. It wasn't going to cost anything extra. It was already running, and for the most part, my team did 75% of the work, and the management with whatever group would just get a report back saying, yes, this works. No, it doesn't. Here's why. Here's what you'd want to go back to the company and ask them to change. And that was, a week or two, whereas everybody else was a year and a half. Oops, I forgot to hit next. I thought this was building as I'm yakking away. So can I just close this and let it run too? How do I get back to this if I just close it? So if I go here and I say, So even though I've got a cluster, I'm kind of load balancing on my own. That's my LVM. This is my local. Okay, so this is in progress. Yeah, I mean, it drove me crazy sometimes, but I mean, really, the last 10 years of my career at that particular job was the best. I got paid to do this stuff all day, and occasionally I had to go and talk to people about it. I mean, there was one of my favorite stories was trying to get a Pepper robot. If you've ever seen a Pepper robot, they're pretty darn cool. But trying to get a Pepper robot, from San Francisco to Las Vegas, and B, get it back again. Because they've got really big batteries in them, and those big batteries are explosives. So you have to ship them a specific way, which is fun in and of itself. But also to try and wrangle enough executives, because the entire idea was that this was going to be sitting on a show floor and using computer vision, speech recognition, and a little bit of back-end machine learning going over a 5G cellular hotspot to like try and have conversations with people, be a greeter like it was in a branch. And I had to get executives, I had to grab them and just kind of drag them into my lab and say, okay, what do you want this thing to say? Like, they wouldn't give me documentation on what they wanted it to say. Just make it look cool. Okay, I can do that, but you're going to get Johnny 5, all right? Okay, so I think that's running. Oh, is it down here that I can... Stopped. Okay. So what if I do 99%? Ooh, we're going to send you to the second one. Put you on local. Is my ISO still uploading? Or did it get canceled because I stepped away? Five gigs free. Yeah. Was it? There we go. avoid closing that. I wonder if closing that. All right, let's try it again. And I guess this time I leave the window open. Maybe it ran out of space. Oh, no, it has 5 gigs and it's only 3, so that shouldn't be a problem. I guess I just have to leave that open. Reminders covering up stuff on my chat machine. I mean, trust me, the longer you're in tech, the more just wacky stories you get, because there's just an expectation in general that tech people are going to make magic happen. There's no other way to look at it. There's really just that expectation. And to some extent, I get it. Like, I mean, what's the quote? Sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Like, the longer you're there, the more you deal with people that are on all different spectrums of the understanding level of technology. You get the people that, yeah, I know, and you still manage to surprise them. And then you get the people that are, so far down there where pressing the button on a CD drive and making it pop out, it's like, wow, you made something happen. And the stories that come along with those conversations is awesome. The thing is, this is actually, it's really important to realize as a tech person, it is hard and complex. I mean, when you were learning it, when you were trying to get to know it, it didn't just jump into your brain. It took some effort. It took some work, maybe, varying levels of it, but it actually is difficult and complex. But it's like watching somebody juggle 17 chainsaws. Like, they've just been doing it so long, they don't think it's hard either. I'm not juggling a single chainsaw. But, and it's probably something about the personality that's drawn to tech, is that I think there's a lot of self-deprecating in the tech world too. That there's some people that are very much, they love explaining how difficult things are. You always get that sort of person, but there's definitely a large margin of people that are like, yeah, it was nothing. It's nothing. Don't pat me on the back. Just, I'm glad you're working, Hey, I only have drink flavors left that I actually like. Yeah, the team definitely matters. Some of my coolest experiences happened entirely because of the team that I worked with. I mean, the first time that I did an overnight migration, I think we were moving to Windows 7, funny enough. just, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. You're in a high-rise building in the middle of the city, and you and 3 people watching screens light up, bars move, screens light up, bars move, with a 6-pack of beer and getting paid. What would you say about DevOps drove you bonkers? Just the always needed, always right now? Because I do get that feeling. I mean, anything I dealt with from the DevOps side of things was very, you don't even have time to have fun. It's not allowed. Okay, so is that... Nope, not done. I did have to leave this window open. At least it seems like I needed to. Now, if I'm over here, and I'll say root, and we copy this. Oh, I need Linux. Linux? Where's Linux? Oh yeah, triage. Triage is always fun. Of course, I mean, it depends on, again, it depends on the team, right? When you're dealing with a team that has a management structure in place that says, hey, we need to make sure ahead of time that when we're looking at what needs to be done, what's our day-to-day, how do we make as much of this as possible automated, and how do we make sure that we put the work in ahead of time to take care of that. I've had managers on both ends of that spectrum where the focus is just fire drill, fire drill, fire drill, fire drill, and then the other side is and it can go too far the other side where we were prepping for the most off the wall stuff like alien attack. I mean, not quite that, but although we did actually do a BCP test for how we would handle it if nobody could come into the office, which became strangely relevant. Granted, it was like 6 years early, but Hey, Cyber Rat. We were just talking about how ridiculously funny, grinding, annoying, and entertaining working in tech is. While I try to keep track of what's going on here. Okay, so I'm guessing task OK means I can finally close. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so now it shows in the background. So I needed to leave that window open. Why would there not be a warning that I need to leave that window open? OS logo, Debian, Linux, next. Next. We're just going to next our way right through this. Okay, so these are my things. I feel like I need to just delete this because guest not running. Start the guest. So I was waiting for this to install and then fail, which it could be failing because this doesn't have the extra VM instructions. Be nice if it told you that. Oh, maybe over here it does. There we go. KVM virtualization configured but not available. Okay. So that's fine. Kind of figured that might happen. I've never used Proxmox. This is my first time actually installing and poking around in Proxmox. Since I picked up K8s, I have not gone back. So this is a noob plays. But I don't think I'm going to be able to go too much farther. Yeah, I did find the templates, but I don't think I'm going to be able to go too much farther just because I'm running this in VirtualBox, and it looks like VirtualBox isn't able. It can do nested virtualization, but it's not allowing me to directly access the virtualization of my CPU. So I think this is the issue. It's saying that VM's virtualization isn't available, which is kind of funny because I have run VirtualBox inside VirtualBox and it will work. It's stupid, but I've done it. So it's basically at this point just kind of poking through the interface and seeing what I can see. Well, so if you go here, this is what needs to be available, but it is available through the acceleration, but yeah, it doesn't like it. See, it's got KVM para virtualization. Apparently it's not a fan of that. But if let me kill you. Power off. And this could be just my, I mean, this is an old machine I'm running it on. It's a Nook, NUC, next unit of computing. Doesn't have that option available, which I tried running it as sudo to see if that would force it to be available. It doesn't. But it is a, what are you? One of these. Dang, there's still $300. Awesome little machines, but they're definitely getting long in the tooth. I want to get one of the newer versions at some point, because I think Asus took over them. Yeah, Asus took over building the next unit of computing. Active, inactive, save. Yeah, the think centers are cool. I mean, I'm using, well, I'm using the Mac Minis. They're honestly, they're awesome, and you can get them for 100, $200. This is, where's your actual models? How do they have a desktop size? There we go. They're still trying to push the Intel graphics, which it was only a matter of time before they did the ROG nukes and knew that they were going to add a markup. There was a point in time, actually, I think it was during like the height of the video card, the great video card drought, where the I think it was the Nook Pro, these guys, the Nook 11, came with a video card. Yeah, see, they've started stripping them out, but they came with the NVIDIA 4070, I think. Might have been a 4060, but it was cheaper than buying the card directly. I, of course, was not able to get my hands on one, but this would be pretty high on my list of what I would want if I'm not building a pure gaming machine, although I am partially. Go away, too many. But most definitely when I fully transition over to a new machine, this guy's going right in the Kubernetes cluster. Just, I mean, the amount of CPU and memory that I've jammed into this thing, like, this is meant to be a virtualization machine. Although, Jeebus, OBS has taken all of the stuff. So let me go. I'm going to try something else. I'm going to power you off. And I think I'm actually just going to dump both of them. Because I want to try. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Shut down. Oh, geez. Go away. Oh, really? Let's see. Well, actually, you know what? Let me do that on the stream machine. One second. Now that I've already deleted it, of course, right? Really? You can just force it? let's see. Let's just do this on a different one. So I go to settings here. That one. We want this one. Could not find. Oh. It's Linux. Everything is case sensitive, right? There we go. Well, now do I go and reinstall now? I mean, why not? What else am I doing today? And man, OBS does not like all this virtualization. And this is going to be fun. I'm going to have to stitch all these together before I upload them to YouTube. Yeah, you would just reboot it, except I deleted it because I was going to try something else. Proxmox Dev 1. We're going to call you Linux. We're going to say this. We're going to give you 4096. Create. Let's make you 40. Create. We're going to run this. Because now I'm just curious if has been started. What? All right, so now it's there. Now we got memory. We want to bump this up to 2. Good. Everything's good there. I'm going to put Proxmox. Audio's good. Network. We need to be on host only and host only. Everything else should be good. And let's start you up. On the plus side, the first one to install usually goes pretty quick. Okay, that just fail and move on. Once again, for the second time, I agree. Next. Come on. Los Angeles. Next. Password is, oh yeah, I can't copy pasta. EY5-ish, bang. EY5-ish, bang. Mail.example.not invalid. I'm going to do pve.vert.connected. You're going to be 56.203, 56.2, 10.24.2, and next. Install. All right, we'll let that go. And I may as well start the second part of what I was thinking about doing. Which is that and 40. We probably have to do the same thing on that one. Let's cancel and I don't know why it would need virtualization, but we'll see. Stick you with 2. Storage is good. And we want you. And there we go again. This is fun, I say, with all of the sincerity I can muster. X error, failed request, bad window. Well, that's because I'm not running X, I'm running Wayland, which is what the stupid Flatpak is supposed to fix. Sorry, everybody. I think I need to spend this weekend fighting with OBS a bit more. Alright, we are going fine. Oh, I do need to hit next, don't I? If I close this. All right. Oh, I meant to close that. Go away. Okay. We need you. We need to agree. Next. That's funny. It picked it up that time. Los Angeles. Did I miss it? I did. Next is EY5-ish bang. EY5-ish bang. And not invalid. Next. Oh, I forgot to change the network. Dang it. You're going to be 192.168.56.204. Two dot 168.6.2. The rest of that's fine. Let's see. Here on host only. Oh, and you've only got one adapter, so that's fine. Okay, now empty U and reset. And whilst that's doing what it's got to do, oof, while that's doing what it's got to do, 1 second. All right. So Proxmox is installed. This is installing. Let's go to it again. .203. Proceed. Let's see if that worked out. I know. All right, so now I'm going to have to grab another template. I mean, I want to do Gen 2 just because. All right, we'll grab that. All right, so it says task okay. Does that mean I have it? Download stopped. Stopped okay. Stopped in a good way. Task okay. Okay, we're going to assume yes. All right, good. So we create one. Just say temp. That's, oh wait, it needs to be 5. If I could type. Temp 1. Next. Template is Alpine. All good. Next. I'm actually really curious if this is going to start up. Nope, I'm guessing it's failing the same. I'm probably going to have to. Oh, maybe. No, there we go. Give it a message. Bin attach. All right. Expand that. There we go. just failed. Okay. So I think we're in the same boat. Wait, why do I have two of these open? Did I close the window that had that solution? Oh, here we go. Up to 6.0 this works optically, but doesn't. Okay. VMCS shadowing. Okay, so yeah, that just forces it to be available, but it looks like it's not actually there. Maybe not. When I'm not motivated, honestly, I try something else. But I set a time limit on the something else, because otherwise you can rabbit hole. You know what I mean? Just really find something, anything else. It doesn't even matter if it's slightly related or not, but figure out like, okay, I'm feeling burnt out. I'm feeling like this is too much, so I need 10 minutes. I need 15 minutes. And you know, a lot of setting that time is going to be finding out for yourself. Like set your 10 minutes and then say after those 10 minutes, yeah, that definitely wasn't enough. But it takes some discipline in being honest with yourself too, because sometimes you're just like, I don't wanna. And I definitely know that feeling. I mean, was it last week? It was either last week or the week before where I just had the absolute worst stream I've ever had. And it was one of those things that it's happened to me before where you just get focused on one particular fix and it's something else that's just completely stupid. And if I remember right, it was a typo. And I was trying to fix something that wasn't this typo. And when I was probably 2.5 hours in, and I just looked over and there's this typo. And that next day, that Wednesday, I didn't want to stream. I didn't want to do anything. I was just like, wow, I'm a complete moron. I'm such an idiot. Why would anyone watch me being an idiot? You just have to like exhale and say, okay, what do I need to get past this? And for me, I spent the most of that week just playing games. And once I did, I changed gears enough to where I was like, okay, let's go back and do this again. A week was probably excessive, but you know, what are you gonna do? But really, it's find something else. I mean, the number of times that I had to go back over counting in binary in my head for the Network Plus, because I needed to be able to look at a subnet mask and figure out like, okay, what should the IP address be? And then to try and translate that in your head to IPv6, I needed a break a lot when I was at that particular portion of it. Like, I understand. Yeah, I mean, you can do that. That's a good idea too. If you're going to detox afterwards, maybe take 10 minutes and put a little effort into planning what you're going to do for that detox time period, right? Like, you probably have something in mind, but, and it sounds silly to say it, but even if your plan is just to sit on the couch, maybe, hey, what day am I going to order from that Indian food place I like? Or what day am I going to do this? You know, like, just feel it and build some anticipation for it. It can energize you. It really can. Sometimes just being ready for the thing that comes after, like mentally ready, pushes you into getting done with today. Do not do on a server. Fun. All right, so I'm going to try this guy instead. It took you out, right? Okay. Reset. Reset. You. Let's power you to heck off. Am I just going to have to force you down? There we go. All right, 204,807. So this is something, when I found out that they have just a backup server, I was like, that's kind of cool. Right now, I use Open Media Vault. And I really like it, but there's definitely some limitations with it. Like, it's really meant to just kind of be a generic file server. A lot of people do end up throwing some virtualization plugins on it that have been written to try and use it also as a virtualization platform, but it's storage, and it does storage, does it fairly decently. This is actually where all of my Kubernetes images and containers get their storage from right now. And it's also where it also houses all of the databases that I run, just because I prefer doing it that way. I have the intention of creating just a database namespace, like a storage namespace, and utilizing it, well, trying to set up peered failover databases in the cluster so that every node has one instance of whatever database running on it. Because I do think that that'd be the right way to go, instead of this, where I just have a single database, and then this can revert to what it's supposed to be, which is just backups. And I can just have a backup running to copy the database over here to a backup folder. That'd be my preference, because this is a JBOD, just a big old chunk of disks. That's all it is. Although 7 terabytes isn't what it used to be. But I think at least half of this has got to be just storage for the Kubernetes clusters, and probably a good chunk is the database. And this also doesn't do deduplication, which I've read that this does. So that's another portion that I'm kind of interested in. All right, so EY5-ish. I do not have a valid subscription. Say it ain't so. Every single time I create a database, I have to go and look up, like, okay, what are those commands to add a user? Like, I do it once and then I install the app, and it takes care of it. I am working on putting in like leaderboard sort of things for the bot that I'm writing, to hopefully be able to say, like, when you join the chat, it'll pop in and say, hey, welcome back. This is your 10th stream that you've seen in a row, or this is your, the stuff that technically Twitch does once you start making money with them. But I want to be able to do it for the hell of it. And I want to do like some stupid git commands with it to just, like, you can say, hey, I want to write my profile with this. And stuff like that requires a database. So I need to get better with it. Right now, I'm looking pretty hard at Postgres. Although I say that I haven't spent a lot of time with databases, but there was a brief stint where I was doing PHP development and writing a lot of MySQL queries. So I just forget about that time in my life, because it was a while ago. I didn't do it professionally. I was doing that to entertain myself. Which databases do you mostly work with? I actually honestly, I kind of like working with MongoDB, like the stuff that I've done with Node.js. The problem, Mongo, when you start getting outside of, used to be when you started getting outside of hobby stuff, it just didn't scale very well. I can't imagine that that's still true, because, I mean, they're a company. They've been doing this for a while now, right? Can I add my own? That'd be cool. How do I add? No. Anyway, this is not what I'm here for. What I'm trying to do Oh, this does not appear to be as self-explanatory as I was hoping it would be. Alright, so let me look at this real quick. Boom, boom, boom. What is? Let me make sure I'm thinking it is what I think it is. Client server backup that's capable of backing up virtual machines, containers, and physical hosts. Alright, not worried about installation. User. Alright, what's this? Route everything but successful prune job. Oh, I'm in notification still. And absolute path. Try that. Wait, I was still... Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. Alright, so I would need to go to the dashboard. No. Access control, user management, add a user. Task user. Yep, we're going to say test pass. Add. Yeah, whatever. Add a user permission. Okay. System services, tape device, data store test. So your role is going to be user. Remote audit, remote. Should be data store backup, right? All right, we'll just do that. Okay, so now how do we run this backup? No disks unused. Okay. Let's see what the documentation has to say about remotes. I'm guessing that's just remote servers, right? Yeah. there a quick start? No quick start. Okay. Got installation. Okay, so yeah, it just needs a client. So okay. I'm like, why is it PBS? I think of PBS, I think of Power Broker, which is a cool piece of software, but definitely not in any way related. Oh, great. Another client. That seems to be the standard with a lot of stuff lately. Like, just a client here, a client there, a client everywhere. Right now I've got, on this machine, I've got a client running for Zabbix. I've got a client running for Waza. I already got a client running for my backups. Like, what happened to just using the installed stuff? I mean, thankfully the client that's running for backups is just using rsync. I mean, realistically, the client for Zabbix is just running a form of syslog-ish. The only one that's really doing anything interesting is Waza. Although I've completely broken that installation. That's going to have to start over. At least I think so. I think it was 10.105. Yeah. Am I still logged in? Nope. No such luck. Boom. Drag this over here. Oh, wait a minute. It's in this. One sec. I'm 90% certain that that has all my passwords in it. And it's going to pop up right there. Yep. Not all my passwords, but you know. The passwords for a few tests that I still have running. It was this one, right? It was not. Wait, what? Kibana server. Yeah, that's supposed to be it. That worked just a second ago. All right, let's try. Great. One more thing that's just completely broken. I should make sure it's even still running. See? Rabbit hole. Everything claims it's running. So then why is it not taking the passwords? Did I somehow lock the user out? I mean, it's not impossible, right? I wonder, oops, wonder if my stupid setup that I had to do to change this password. Nope. All right. Well, I guess that's a revisit. Okay, so yeah, it's just, it'll do a backup. But I'm not going to be able to get much information out of it until I run some backups to it. But it's easy enough to set up at least. Options. Oh, I'm in options. Permissions, sync jobs. Actually, is there a... It has a plugin. Well, why not? I mean, I've got about 20 minutes left on stream. Let's chase this rabbit. Since my original stream idea concept died on the vine. All right, what was it called? VDO. Okay. I might not have the right plugin. Six years. Nope. Let's see what Reddit has to say. F-dupe. Yeah, I'm in the RAM starved area as well. I think this has 8. No, it has 4. So yeah, that's not an answer. Yeah, I'm not going to install Docker. Per tera. Ooh, wow. That's not going to work. Okay. Okay, so this is the 6 years ago one. Oh wow, it just got archived too. With no further data. Let's see. Let's just scroll it. Nope. Oh, that flashing is annoying. OneDrive. Oh, well, that's kind of cool, because I was looking for something to do that with a while ago. Managing containers and images and volumes. Okay. Nope. Nope. USB. That's it. I think I need to enable something else. I remember right. Is it here? I need to enable. Shift R. That's what I need. OMV extras. Control. Why would that doesn't make sense. All right. Or for 6, I'm pretty sure I'm on 6 or 7 already. So I guess I just have to do this. Easy enough. Must be executed as root or using sudo. Drink break. The one issue is I know that a lot of the extras.org is not the greatest quality. So you have to be a little more careful about what you pull. Control Shift R after signing in. So here. Oh, so it's just reload the page. Fun. Go to the. I'm in the notification type bar. What are you talking about? All right. But I don't want that. Please install the... See? No, don't want it. Everything else in this program pops up and says, "Are you sure you want to do this?" This just starts doing it. There was definitely a reason I didn't have that installed. Why does this have one fork and only 4 stars? This can't be. Well, it does say member of OMV plugin developers. But they've done like 5 commits to it. Packages, encryption, Docker Compose. Like, I don't understand taking a file server and saying, I need this to be a virtualization server as well. Like, it's a storage server. Why do you want your VPN to go to it? I guess I shouldn't be so critical. There is the entire concept of, I've only got one server. End of line. Okay. So is there anything new? Oh, okay. So they do have regulars. That's just where you'd go for Docker stuff. So now if I search for... Okay, nope, it's not there. They've definitely gotten rid of it. I wonder why. I wonder what the story is there. What all is in here? Keep it raw. 3.0 native. Cool. No. Just install. So where's what it actually does? There we go. Or not. Devices. Okay, so it's just buttons and stuff. Extends RPC. Get device, create device, remove device. All right, so that's just saying what to look for. video web services. Okay, so it actually creates a binary. Okay, so it's just using something that exists and adding an interface to it. Interesting. Now the question is, do I want to make a copy of this and try and make it work? Because most of this shouldn't change. It's video is the only part that should actually change, right? But the question is, why did they archive it? Update README, a pull request. Okay. This could be fun just to screw around with. Provisioning, manage the mapping, like, yeah, this could be fun just to do and add this to my to screw around with list. Although I don't think I really want deduplication as long as it's running a file system for Kubernetes. Could cause an issue. Cool. Well, I got something new to screw around with. I may, if I can get Waza listening to me again, I may start a series just on securing your Homelab. Because right now I'm super lazy about it. All I've done is secured it behind firewalls. The individual devices, I'm not following best practices by any means. So going through and recreating the nodes with that could be interesting. And it, like I said at the beginning of this, the number one way that people find my videos on YouTube is they search for Homelab security, which is interesting to find out. But I'm not providing a whole lot of that. So it could be worthwhile just to chase that down and run with it. We'll see. We'll see what I come up with, if that's going to be a new week, new problem kind of thing, or if I'm just going to hit the ground running with it. So, yeah, I think I'm going to be calling it for today. Stitch all of this. I'm going to have to stitch all these videos together. That's going to be entertaining. Yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, having done, I currently have three security-based certificates and one that I let expire. And in all of the training for all of those, there's a lot of discussion about, what it means to secure a machine, like what the documentation is required to prove that a machine is secured. But there's not a whole lot of like deep dive into just, okay, let's do it. Let's go through the steps. Let's go through the process. You can intelligently say that, yeah, you need to close off ports. But how do you do that? Of course, that's different on everything, right? Every OS has something different. So I think it'd be fun, honestly, just to, and it's something I've been wanting to do and meaning to do. Like I've gone so far as to begin writing out the documentation that would be needed for each one of my servers so that I have like a configuration doc and such. It'd be cool to run it like a faux enterprise. I mean, why not? I've been lazy for too long. But like I said, we'll see if that's next week or if that's tomorrow. It's going to take a little bit of prep work, I think. Number one, not the least of which is probably reinstalling Waza. Let me kill all of these. Luckily, I didn't have to do anything with Git today, but I still go to that by default instead of this. Let's power you off. Clean up our mess. And I think that is it for today. Tomato, thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again. It was cool. And hey, good luck focusing. I think you can do it. Well, so I could. I think Waza does a little bit of that, but it's what I'm going to put it in my back pocket. Right now I am monitoring, but that's about it. Have a good one. Good luck. Focus. I believe in you.